y'all, 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 y'all showing out. Y'all showing out, okay? Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for the Never Ever Met season 1, episode 5, The Love Hangover. Well, we're gonna start off where they started off at, everyone waking up the next morning, you know what I'm saying? What else? Whatever. We have Taronda. She comes and pulls Brandon and Sienna to the side and, talk a little bit. Let them know, listen, y'all don't want to be in a relationship no more. Like, y'all want a friendship, but not a relationship. But we here for the relationship. So since y'all not trying to have the relationship, y'all gonna have to go. Y'all gonna have to bounce. You know what I'm saying? And I said, thank you, Jesus, because the last review, which I did 2 seconds ago, I was just like, what's y'all stink, but y'all you don't want the but y'all, like I it took y'all overnight to realize like, okay, they should go home. Like, I once again, this show is weird. I don't understand the dynamic. Like, y'all should have these set in stone of like what you do in this scenario, what you do in that scenario, and they should have just left last night. But they said we're gonna let them have one more night with everybody, and then they left the next morning. Okay, so they pack up, they leave. They both said in their little last confessional that, well, from Brandon's side, he said he's still open to dating online. She said she's not really open to dating online, but never say never. But they both agreed on the fact that, if they do date someone online, they are going to meet that person sooner rather than later, and not like wait 10 months and all that stuff anymore. Okay, cool. You learn something from here, you're moving forward. Sayonara. We then have Taronda telling the crew that, they're gonna go on a field trip so they can focus more on their partners. That was a little bit of shade towards Chris. Okay. She not gonna say it. That was a little bit of shade towards Chris. And maybe Joanna. But she already know what it is with Joanna. We all know what it is with Joanna, so it's like we're not really concerned with her. It was towards Chris. Okay. So Diamond feels alone. She's walking around, moping around by herself in the house. And she goes sits by herself to eat breakfast on the couch. Aaron H goes to check up on her. And she's still upset that he didn't have her back the night before. And she's saying, everybody's fake. She's not really trying to sit with nobody. And, she says, look, Aaron H, you a little fake too, because you didn't have my back and you supposed to be my man. So this guy feels like, okay, I'm gonna have my girls back. I'm gonna go show who's boss and do my PSA, because we love PSAs in this show. Clearly, everybody making a PSA. So, Aaron H says, you know what? She right. I'm gonna ride for mine. Homeboy gets up, right? He goes to the kitchen. Everybody chilling in the kitchen, eating breakfast. They chilling, whatever. He makes his PSA saying, look, nobody had her back. My woman, my girl calling me saying I'm fake, and I ain't no fake nigga. So, I'm going to let it be known what it is. So, I'm just going to start off with you. He points at Joanna. He said, I never liked you because you full of shit. Listen, I'm calm, cool, collected right now, but I'm not gonna lie. When because I didn't know where he was going with this, and when he just pointed at her and just started saying like, I never liked you because you, I was like, where did nigga come from? I was cackling. I was cackling, bro. I was like, calm down. Like, she said, defend her. She didn't say you had to go off like this, but she just looking, Joanna just looking like, okay, what I got to do with anything? Like, Joanna don't care, bro. Like, you doing all this, Joanna don't care. She don't care. She really care about her own man. You think she gonna care about you? So she don't care. Diamond and Joanna end up going back and forth, and it looks like Aaron J was trying to say something, but Joanna kind of silenced him down. So Aaron H called him out on that, telling him to be a man, telling him he need to find a better person than Joanna. Look, if he want to stay beside her, that's his choice. Can he do better? Probably. Someone that's more aligned with him versus, Joanna, who seems like she's not aligned with Aaron J at, like, they don't seem like they connect at no chemistry, anything like that. So, he may not be wrong, Aaron J, but I know that's your girl in a moment, so you're gonna defend her. So Diamond goes up, that she's done with it, so she goes to talk to Shay about what just happened downstairs, because everybody was downstairs but Shay. And meanwhile, Chris said, because I guess Aaron H goes upstairs and says, how'd I do, babe? So, she hugs and kisses up on him, and, she's happy that he stood up for her and whatnot. So, Aaron H said they definitely gonna be using the boom 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 tonight. Okay, I mean, at this point, it's just y'all and Shay and Josh. So, I mean, it's all y'all juices and kids all over the room. Like I said, I hope somebody cleaning that every day, because that's nasty as hell. All right, so then we have Chris. Like I said, this house, this season of even though this is the first season, but this season of Never Ever Mess, this should really be called the PSA show, because everybody loves to make PSA, especially Chris. So Chris wants to stand up saying, everybody's saying something bad about Joanna. I never said nothing bad about Joanna. She can attest that I never said nothing bad about her to her face, behind her back, none of that. So, and she's one of my favorite people in the house. So that triggers Millie, because he's like, you said something? Did you say something? And he points to Millie. I guess she gets triggered. So, she's not understanding why he's so quick to defend Joanna. So she goes off like, don't be saying that's one of your favorite people. We know that's your favorite person in the house, when it really should be your girl that's your favorite person in the house. You here for her, but it doesn't seem like you really here for her, because it seems like you really here for Joanna, because you're so quick to defend her. That's not even your girl, blah, blah, blah. They kind of going back and forth. Well, no, they don't go back and forth. She says what she needs to say. But then that's when Chris was just like, I'm not about to, I'm not going to argue with a woman. That's not what he does. That's not what I do. So then Greg stand up. First of all, I understand you're going to stand up to defend your girl, but Greg, you didn't even do much. So I don't know what you get. Sit down, calm down. So Greg stands up to defend his girl, Millie. I understand. But, I'm just like, I'm not even looking at nobody in this scene but one person. Everybody could go off. I'm not looking at nobody in this room but one person. Who's the one person? I'm like, Sandia. Because I'm just like, Sandia, he may not be talking to you like that, but the way he's talking and treating other females, and he's saying, I'm not about to argue with a woman, that's very extremely condescending. And it's like later on in the episode, towards the end of the episode, when Aaron H is going at it with Irene, Diamond's sister, and he's like talking to her bad. Obviously she's talking bad to him too, but Sandia wants to make the comment in the confessional that she would never let Chris talk to her sister that way. You sure? Because you're letting him talk to you that way, and you seem like you're not even flinching when he's talking to other females that way. So I don't want to hear what you have to say, because it seems you can barely defend yourself. So now I'm going to believe you're going to defend your sister? Maybe so, but I don't know, Cindy. It seemed like you all talking a confessional, but when it comes to when you out with him in public, in person, it's a whole different story. So I'll believe it when I see it. I'm sorry, I'll believe it when I see it, Sandy, because it seems like you very mute and very quiet when it comes to your own self and allowing him to treat you any type of way, and you're seeing him treat all these females this type of way, and you're still going to stick beside him. So I don't know what. Okay. So after that, Chris and Sandia, they go sit down and talk. So he's asking her if they're good. She said, she's just like, oh, my head's just all over the place. Everybody say this person. Sandia, you just don't want to say the wrong thing, because you already know anything you say is going to tick him off if you say anything negative. So you're just going to pretend like you're just so confused and stuff. Like, you're not confused. Sandia, I know you're a smart woman. You know what it is. But to keep peace, you just going to keep quiet. Whatever. So he's like, she just needs to stay beside him. He gonna stay beside her. And, he tells us in the confessional that he hopes that she can trust him. And I'm just like, so you hope she could trust you, but you have a hard time trusting females, and it takes you a long time to trust females, but you hope the females could trust you ASAP. But even if they trust you ASAP, you're still in the mindset of like, you gonna dog them out, or, leave them hanging in a few months or whatever, because they're gonna leave you for another man anyway, right? You don't make no sense. But it's not for me to figure out. It's for Sandy to figure out, because she's with you. But, I already peeped game. But Sandy, I don't, maybe she peeped game and she just playing a cool, calm, collector while y'all on the show to collect a check. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like, sir, all this, you not, okay. All this, y'all not about to work me up. I took a hiatus because y'all not about to work me up. But at the same time, it's just like, Chris, anytime you talk, I'm just like, sir, please get out my face. Like, get off the screen, get off the confessional. I don't want to hear what none of you got to say, because it don't make no sense. Because it's like, I'm aligning everything. I'm stacking up everything that you've been saying. Nothing is correlating. Nothing is correlating. All it's correlating to me is just like, you need help. We all need help. Okay, I always want to put the disclaimer when I say somebody needs help. We all need help, but it's just like maybe someone needs to let you know you need help because like you need help. And then we're gonna move on from that. Anyway, so we then have everyone, they leave for the surprise trip. So they get to like a yoga studio, dance studio type of looking thing, so they could do a rope bondage exercise. Like I said, I'm with these exercises. I know from some reviewers that I've watched, they're kind of just like, these exercises don't seem like the best for like someone who's just meeting offline, trying to connect and relate. I get it, but at the same time, it's like these people been talking for a little bit, so these sexual fantasies have come up. I would hope if it hasn't, then damn, what y'all talking about? Anyway, so they decide one person of each couple is going to be tied. So Millie is immediately to say Greg's going to be tied. In my head, I'm like, okay, your past trauma, you probably don't want to be restricted like that. I understand. Same thing with Joanna. She says that Aaron J going to be tied. He kind of seems confused of why he's going to be tied, but it's just like, her past trauma. I don't know if he's privy to that. I think from what she was trying to insinuate that he is privy to that, but maybe in this moment he just wanted to have her tied up, but it is what it is. Chris was also quick to say that Sandy is going to be tied up. What else is new? I'm not surprised with y'all. Diamond and Aaron H. Aaron H was the one that got tied up. I think that's all the couples. No, and then with Shay and Josh, Shay was the one that got tied up. I'm not going. I would like to be the one tied up, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind tying the other person up too. But when you tied up, this is just the laziness in me. You do the less work. You get more of the pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get the pleasure. I'm sorry. I do too much of pleasuring y'all mothers. I'm gonna get the. I'll be the one tied up. I'm constricted. I can't do much, so I'm just gonna receive. And y'all give. Yeah. That doesn't mean I don't mind giving, of course. But in this scenario, you can tie me up. That's no problem. I ain't gonna lie to you, but you can tie me up. You know what I'm saying? So they do the exercise, it goes well. And even after the exercise, all the other couples, they still seem like they a little into it. They a little touchy, feely, kissing and whatnot, except for Joanna and Aaron J. So in this moment, this is when Aaron J is letting us know in the confessional that he's realizing that, her little girly parts ain't really tingling for him. Yeah, Aaron J, you're late. You're late to the game. We could have told you that since day one, since y'all first. Sir, Look, bro. We could have been told you that, bro. We could have been told you that. You just not realizing that. I don't know what to, you just really. So like, all y'all been at this place over a week now, and this is only episode 5 for us. So this is the 5th hour, and y'all been together for I don't know how many hours, how many days at this point. You're just realizing her tingling part's not really tingling for your ass. Well, at least you came to the realization of that. Now that you know that information, sir, what are you going to do with it? Because it's one thing to know, to realize. It's another thing to do nothing about it. So what are we talking about here? What's the next step? You let us know. I'm not gonna let you. I don't know what to tell you because y'all in this relationship. I don't know if it's real or not. I could just go based off what I see here. But from unanimous opinions and synopsis of the people that I watch, the reviewers that I watch that watch this show, that review this show. Ain't nobody really believe in your relationship, right? I'm holding out a sliver of hope, but I don't know what to believe nowadays because everybody be lying. But I'm glad you realized that on your own and not someone else having to tell you. So you kind of paying attention, but I need you to pay attention more and more quicker. You see this shit? I gotta fix this. I ain't do my hair this morning. Okay. Anyway, but enough about me. We talking about these people. So everybody sits down to eat dinner and they play a game about who said that and whatnot. She asks a question, everybody writes it down, they put it into like a little bin or whatever. She reads all the answers, whatever. So everybody's there except for Chris and Sandia. Tarana goes to talk to them on the side, and she got them a relationship expert because Sandia said under 2-on-1 whatever that she wants to see a relationship expert. So she has one set for them. They go to see the relationship expert. Excuse me. So sorry. So the relationship expert asks them questions about how things been going, how their communication, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. And Chris plays victim, of course. Are we really surprised? And the expert says that Chris needs to have more empathy towards Sandia and her feelings and whatnot, and her discomfort about certain things. So then we get to Sandia talking about Chris's past relationships. He's been hurt. He needs to get over it. So then that's when the relationship expert was just like, okay, just like I told him, he needs to have empathy towards you and your discomfort. You need to have empathy towards him and his distrust of women and whatnot. And they need to both have empathy for each other. And Chris takes it as a good session, and it seems to go well. I'm just kind of like, as for someone outside looking in who don't really know much about what's been going on, I can understand why you would say that, Miss Relationship Expert. But from what we've seen, I'm personally not going to really go agree with this advice. And because homeboy Chris is acting like that towards Sandia, having no empathy towards her because of what's been happening to him. Now, I'm not saying he should get over it by Sandia saying it, but it's just like he shouldn't be treating people, especially the girls he's like interested in or conversing with, trying to have a relationship with, and treating her any type of way just because of what happened to him in his past. Yes, he can be more cautious to trust someone, but the way his views on women, I'm sorry, that's not no. So it's like I don't know if I don't feel like I really explained it well in these past 20-30 seconds, but it's just like that's not no. Chris needs more than just one set. Like, he needs a little bit of help, like one-on-one help. Not to say that's anything bad, because we all need one-on-one help, but Chris, like, the way since episode 1, you definitely need to talk to someone. You definitely need to rewire your brain about how you view women, because I feel like you view women as less than, and I don't appreciate that shit. And the way you talking about women to women and all that, like, I know everybody's their own person, but at the same time, it's just like, yes, let's have empathy towards Chris, but there's only so much empathy I could have for someone who talks to women crazy like that. Sorry, not sorry. So, I mean, I may need to be worked on too. Well, I do need to be worked on too. Everybody needs to be worked on. But I'm sorry. I'm just not really going to be so forthcoming of having empathy towards someone who feels like, oh, I'm not about to argue with a female because they're a female. But if it was a man, you would argue with a man. Anyway, that's Sandia. She gonna stay beside. That's her man. That's not mine. So whatever. So then we get to, that's it. Well, with them, we get to Joanna and Sandia. They do sit down and talk. It does seem to go well. I don't hate Joanna. You know what I'm saying? All this animosity everybody got towards her. I don't. I do see what they were talking about with Chris and Joanna seeming like they have some type of chemistry. But I think, she got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like she feeling Aaron J? No, because she was just like, takes her longer. But it's just like, you don't even show no interest in him at all. You show way more interest in Chris versus Aaron J. So it's just like, yes, I understand being more slow to be open to all that stuff, but Millie is the same way, and she's more open to a relationship with Greg versus you and Aaron J. And I know everybody treats trauma differently and whatnot, but I don't know. I just feel like you can still be slow to get to where you want to get to sexually or whatever the case may be, but still show interest into the person that you're actually dating, quote unquote. So anyway, we then get to Aaron H. His friend Ronald comes over. They play pool and talk, and Aaron H. said he wants to propose to Diamond before this whole experiment thing is over. So, Ronald seemed a little shocked by that. I'm just like, listen, y'all been talking for 5 years, whatever. I do what you got to do. Absolutely, but I don't know, cause Irene seemed a little crazy. Because speaking of Irene, Diamond's sister Irene show up. Irene and Aaron don't get along because of some stupid internet beef about she's still upset about him posting that ring and stuff like that, and trying to make Diamond look stupid or whatever the case may be. And she immediately comes and tells Diamond that he ain't the one, because Diamond was trying to be like, oh, he cried when we first met. Irene said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So what? Like, he still trying to pull that shit on you on social media and stuff like that. He ain't the one. Like, you just need to cut him loose, all that stuff. Aaron H and Ronald walk in. They immediately get into it Aaron H and Irene immediately get into it, to the point everybody's eavesdropping and taking a peek of what's going on. I ain't gonna lie, I would have been one of them. I would have been like, what the hell going on here? Whatever. There's barely any water in there. I just did that for dramatic effect. Anyway, so they going back and forth to the point where Irene was just like, F you and your kids. So I was like, oh, now you brought the kids into it. You already know he gonna get pissed off even more. So, he's just like, F you, you bitch, all that stuff like that. She was like, oh, you could wipe my ass, the diarrhea off my ass, whatever. He's like, oh, your face look like diarrhea. So they just going back and forth. Diamond trying to, hold him out. And this is the moment where, like, Sandia was just like, if Chris ever talked to my sister the way Aaron H talking to Diamond's sister, like, I will go off on him and stuff. I'm just looking at Sandia like, you already told us you're not a confrontational person. And Chris already confirmed that you're not a confrontational type person. You ain't gonna do shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a confrontational person either. And it's like, have I went off? Of course I have. But, like, girl, you may be like, y'all need to stop. Da, da, da. You would have been doing the same thing Diamond's doing and just try to, you stay over there, you stay over there. Then you not about to do shit. I'm sorry, you ain't gonna do. You could say all you want in confessional, because you're protected in the confessional. Of course you gonna say that. In the moment when it's happening, it could be a whole different ball game. So that's what the episode is, guys. Y'all, like I said, y'all not about to get me worked up, okay? So that was the end of the episode. I hope I do better next week. Like, when the episode drops, I do the review then. I'm so sorry. But I gave y'all 3 back-to-back reviews. Can I get something for that? Like a subscription? Subscribe. If you laughed, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh and you can subscribe then, okay? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. BEC Breezy Lemon Squeezy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.